business trip.
Did the people move around?
It does tingle a little bit. Hey everyone, it's Matt with the DPI podcast. Over on the other screen, I have got Peter with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel, and it is DPI Top 3 time. If you're new here, this is our ranking show where we are going to pick a random category here in a second, and we are going to get 20 seconds to give you our top 3 or bottom 3. If you have been here before, obviously you're here for that, and thanks for coming back, because that is kind of scary. So let's go ahead and let's pick out this week's category. And this week's category is going to be number 17. Number 17.
Things you're thankful for. Oh,
Wow, how cool would that be? No, it's not going to be that. It will be... okay, this is a good one. For our food people, our top 3 resort restaurants.
it's a good one.
Yeah. You got 20 seconds.
Thinking about taking a trip to Disneyland, Disney World, maybe a Disney cruise, or one of the other amazing Disney destinations? Contact me at Princess of the Mouse, and I'd love to work with you on your itinerary to the most magical places in the world.
You can contact Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel on Facebook at PATM Disney Travel.
This is a good one. I've got about 5 or 6 that I'm
Yeah,
like...
I wrote down 3, but I know that 3 of them are, like, they're all going to be on yours as well. So I'm just, may or may not be, like, searching for dining reservations with the filter not in parks.
All right, I'll let you go ahead and go first.
It has to be resort option.
Resort restaurants.
Yeah, see, I want to, like, take one that... No, you go ahead. It's fine if I've got plenty. And really, the ones that I've written down are all my 2 and 1. So
Yeah.
I'm going to think of a third one. So feel free to go.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with one that we went to when we went in September, and I'm gonna start out with Citrico's at the Grand Floridian. Now I can't eat fish, so Narcoossee's is completely out for me as far as an option when we go to the Grand Floridian. But Citrico's is a fantastic option over at the Grand Floridian, and it has a pretty varied menu. I had a vegan rigatoni when we were there the last time. Shannon had a steak. You were so dehydrated and tired that I don't even know if you remember what you had. But yeah, it was really good food. Shannon and I have eaten there a couple of times. I had a chicken dish the last time we were there that was really good as well. Really good quality food, great setting. They just redid it to like a Mary Poppins theme in the restaurant, brightened it up quite a bit, and just really good food. Not terribly difficult reservations to get either, because it's kind of like the 3rd tier restaurant at Grand Floridian, when you have Victoria and Albert's and Narcoossee's there as well. But no, just really solid food, good pricing, relatively easy to get a reservation right outside the parks. We were able to just monorail over, have a meal there, and then we ended up going to Trader Sam's afterwards. So yeah, just really good place to kind of figure out that meal. So my number 3 is going to be Citrico's at the Grand Floridian. Peter, what's your number 3?
Well, it could be my number 3. It could be my number 1. It gets a lot of love on this show, and so I'm just going to go ahead and just keep giving it love. So I'm going to go with number 3 because I feel like the ones that I have listed are better than this in different ways. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start with Topolino's Terrace, and it is definitely one of my top 3.
Yeah.
Right, it is resort restaurants. It is definitely in my top 3. And like I said, I've got other ones for 2 and 1 to kind of play off of what you do. And heck, Topolino's might have made it on for you as well. But what sets Topolino's apart, it's at Riviera Resort. It is on the top floor of the tower at Riviera Resort. And so you have this beautiful view where you can step out onto these terraces and you can see all the way over to Hollywood Studios. You can see all the way over to Epcot. You can even in the distance, if you look off the left side of the balcony, you can see all the way up to Magic Kingdom. And so it's just a really, really great bird's eye view of a lot of places. You're looking down on the pool area in the Caribbean Beach Resort, and the breakfast is fantastic. One of my top 3 breakfasts on property. And to top it all off, the breakfast is absolutely fantastic. And I have a character dining there as well. Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy in these unique outfits, inspired by the creativity of the French Riviera. And I know we've talked a lot about it, so I'm not going to linger on this too much. It does turn into a very fine dining Italian restaurant at night. And so also another reason to go back there. The breakfast reservation is one of the hardest 3 reservations to get on property. And the dinner reservations are much easier to come by. So Topolino's for the atmosphere, Topolino's for the character breakfast, Topolino's for the fantastic food. All in all, it is a great resort restaurant. Let's go on to Matt's number 2.
Number 2. Before I get to my number 2, if you've got a top 3 for this category, resort restaurants, definitely put it in the chat. Shannon already has. Hers are Grand Floridian Cafe, Trattoria Al Forno, and California Grill.
Why would you give hers before we give ours?
Because it's nice to give the chat some love. Because they may or may not be in our top 3, so...
You know damn well that one of those is in your top 3.
All 3 of them could have been in my top 3, but... But no, in the chat, put it in the comments, or if you have an idea for a top 3 category, our website's below right now, patmdisneytravel.wixsite.com/planning. If you go to the top right-hand corner of the website, there is a text box where you can put in your idea for a top 3, and we may do it on the air. It's all random, and we just kind of put them in as we go out. So do that if you want to. But my number 2, man, I've got like 3 right now that I'm just kind of like, yeah, these are all really, really good. So
Pick one.
I'm going to go with Trattoria Al Forno.
I already crossed it off of my list for the record. I'm like, Matt's going to get that one.
And it's funny because we don't do a lot of like lunch and dinner dining in the resorts for the most part. But for breakfast, Trattoria has a fantastic breakfast. I'd wish they would get the characters back, but I love that they don't right now because it makes it a super affordable, really good breakfast over at the boardwalk. So yeah, it's an Italian flair breakfast and has some staples, your pancakes, eggs, that kind of stuff. But, you know, when we went on our trip in September, you got the breakfast pizza that they have. I got the Italian omelet, the caprese omelet that they have. So really 2 of their kind of Italian highlight items. You can get like an Italian strip steak for breakfast as well. So just really, really good options there. A great place to get a super early reservation and still make it for early magic hours at Epcot, just walking in that back entrance. So just a really great proximity, good food. And then when it does change to lunch and dinner, another really good Italian choice at the parks. You know, there aren't many Italian restaurants on the Walt Disney World property that you can go wrong with. You know, if you kind of go through the list, they're all pretty quality.
There are like 7 of them you can eat at.
Yeah. But I mean, there's no real slouches. You can't say, hey, there's a Fazoli's here.
Pick a top 3 category. Favorite Italian restaurants at Disney.
We'd have to leave one out.
And just listen to Matt talk about Italian food the whole series.
It's easy. Normally not fishing. It's good. It's good. But no, my number 2, Trattoria Alforno over at the Boardwalk. Peter, where are you going with your number 2?
I did know that you had Trattoria on there. I'm going to go with Ohana over at Polynesian. So Ohana is up on the 2nd floor. So if you come in from the monorail, you are on the correct level. If you come in through any other mode of transportation and are therefore on the ground level, once you enter the lobby, either take the stairs to the back right or stairs to the back left and get yourself upstairs to Ohana. What is great about Ohana is it is a family-style meal any time of the day, so it is an all-you-can-eat. During the morning, you get some great breakfast foods. They have this bread there that is kind of unique to anywhere else on property. They also have some desserts there that are unique to pretty much anywhere else on property, like some pineapple upside down type stuff. But in the morning, you've got a character meet and greet that will typically feature, Lilo and Stitch, along with a couple of other people, normally Pluto and Mickey. But I've seen Goofy there. I've seen not Lilo there. I've just kind of whoever fits in the costumes, it seems like there, but you can guarantee that you're going to get Stitch.
Yeah.
So you've got Stitch is going to come around. So character meal for you with kids. Ohana is a fantastic character breakfast. Right behind Topolino's, I would rank it as my number 2 character breakfast that there is out there, with maybe arguing for Akershus, but this is a resort-only segment.
Yeah.
So out of the resort ones, Ohana and Topolino's top 2 character breakfast spots, in my opinion. And then the dinner is, oh my gosh, just fantastic food. It is just so stinking good and filling, and it's a bit pricey. It is a bit pricey. It's like $60-something per adult, $40 per kid. And that kid is only 3 to 9, so a 10-year-old costs $60. So
Yep.
It's a little bit pricey. That's the dinner prices. The breakfast prices are a little less gougy, in the 40 range and 30 range for kiddos. But it is a fantastic restaurant. Beautiful design, right? You're in the Polynesian, so you're in the grand building and all that stuff. So Ohana, definitely worth making the list for the best resort restaurants out there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And, yeah. Matt, let's go over to your number 1.
All right, my number 1, not a huge surprise. I'm a huge fan of the Contemporary, and I'm going to go with California Grill, on the top level of the Contemporary. Very, very high quality restaurant. We've eaten there a few times now, and just really good steak menu there. Really good fresh, like California style menu if you're looking for that as well. So fresh ingredients, that kind of stuff. I mean, it is called California Grill. Couple things to think about here. Price wise, it is in the upper echelon of pricing. You're probably going to spend, with a drink, close to $100 a plate. If you're getting a good steak, a beverage, a dessert, something like that. So you're going to be for, a couple $100 pretty easy. But one of the cool things you get with this reservation is if you have a dining reservation that is a dinner reservation there, you have the ability to watch the Magic Kingdom fireworks from their patio, which is a really cool vantage point, kind of out over the top of Space Mountain to watch the fireworks. So there's a couple like Topolino's in their reservation system. You can go and watch the fireworks from there as well. As far as dress code, it is a fancier restaurant. They don't want you wearing your swimsuits in there or anything like that. But for the most part, you can get away with like your golf shorts, t-shirts. We normally dress up when we go there, so it hasn't ever really affected us from that. But really good menus, both on the food and the beverage side. So My number one is going to be California Grill at the Contemporary. Peter, where are you going with your number one?
You are right, Matt. That was not a surprise. Just like it was not a surprise that I put Topolino's on my list. I am actually going to go. It's funny because all three of mine are actually character experiences, which is funny, but I mean, it does add something to the dining experience when you get the characters added on there.
It does.
So I am going to talk about another one of the hardest reservations to get. And I'm going to talk about Storybook Dining at, did you say Chef Mickey's? I am not a fan of Chef Mickey's. And anybody out there that's like a super fan of Chef Mickey's, I am happy to verbally debate you. I will sit at the table saying Chef Mickey's is mid, change my mind. Yeah, I am going with Storybook Dining at Artist Point for my number one. Is what I'm doing. So Storybook Dining at Artist Point is found in the Wilderness Lodge building. If you've been to Wilderness Lodge, if you go through the lobby, you can go straight out the doors to the pool, or if you hang a left, you go down the ramp over to the quick service. Right there is the check-in spot for the Artist Point restaurant. And what makes this exclusive is it's dinner only, and so you can only get reservations in the evening time, and it's a bit pricey, but the food, the menu is, so first of all, it's a character meal, so set price. You're going to order off of, you kind of get like the set appetizers that come out, but then you're going to order your dish, and then you have kind of like set desserts that come out, and the food is fantastic. The drinks are very unique. Everything about the presentation and the flavors are very, very unique. Matt just kind of talked about how, you know, I brought up a really good Italian restaurant. He brought up a really good Italian restaurant. There's not really anywhere else that I would be like, oh, look, they have a very similar menu to Artist Point. Artist Point has a very, very unique menu, which makes it a unique experience. And then on top of that, Snow White, Grumpy, and Dopey are going to move throughout the dining space. And then as you are leaving, Evil Queen will be, she's just misunderstood. No, she actually,
no, she isn't.
Actually, like, of all the Disney villains, she's just like straight up like, I'm trying to murder my stepdaughter. Right? All the other ones you could.
It is one of the most frightening characters at the parks as well. I mean, I have pictures of my daughter literally terrified of this woman.
Well, the people that they put in that role play it very, very well. They do. And so you can meet Evil Queen, you can meet Snow White, Grumpy, and Dopey. And I'm a really big fan of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And so that's probably why this is getting quite a bit of love. But I do think it's deserving of the love that I am giving to it. It is a really, really great restaurant reservation. I know, Matt, you had splendid things to say about it when you dined there.
Yeah,
I have dined there a few times.
I mean, the big thing that I would say is it's very unique. You have to go in there and just kind of have an open mind on the flavors, because there are some very, very unique flavors with the meal. You can find some pretty standard entrees, but when it comes to that appetizer and the dessert trays that they come out, there's some pretty new flavors and pretty new flavor combinations that you probably haven't had before.
And it's very good. Very wonderful. We actually hit a restaurant at every single one of the Magic Kingdom Resort area. We hit a couple over between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. I will give an honorable mention to Sanaa over at Animal Kingdom Kidani Village. What makes it unique is its quick service in the morning, fantastic menu for lunch and dinner, and it is butted up. The windows are right up against one of the savannas, and so really, really unique dining experience just to get the Animal Kingdom area a little bit of love as well, since we got Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom quite extensively. I'll give an honorable mention to Sanaa and kind of cheat a little bit. So
There you go. Well, if you have a better top 3 than us, definitely put it in the chat or put it in the comments below. And if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. Let us know that you're watching. And thanks for joining the show this week. Peter, I'm going to forego a deep dive this week with it being Thanksgiving week. But we will come back raring and ready next week with a full show if you're available. So...
all right, just leave me running. I'm deep diving. I'm just kidding. That's fine.
All right, everybody. Well, you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Be safe out there, and we will talk to you next Tuesday. Bye now.
Hey, thanks for checking us out today. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help out the channel. Also, if you're looking for some more Disney content, check this out. I think you're going to like it.